Okay, so round 3, I fought Alec. He was the next highest in battle points. I was worried. I wasn't sure if I was worried or not. I knew I was either fighting Alec with Blood Angels or Chaos Bomb with Chaos Corn. I wasn't sure which I preferred. Um, Honestly, Bob, if you're watching, the only thing that really worried me about your army was the 3 Land Raiders. I really wasn't sure if I could deal with those. That was really the thing that was like, if I fight him, that might kill me. So I do need to keep that in mind for next time I need more armor 14 killing. So I did end up fighting Alec, though. He got a minor victory, I believe, first round, and a massacre second round, I think. So he ended up a little bit below me for that. So his list is Mephiston, the Librarian with Shield of Sanguinius and Unleash Rage. Unleash Rage is a damn good power, too. 3 Sanguinary Priests with Power Swords. Furioso Dreadnought with Blood Fists and a Drop Pod. Furioso with Blood Talons and a Drop Pod. 5-man Assault Squad with a, Razorback with Assault Cannon, a Marine with a Melted Gun, a Sergeant with a Power Fist. Another one exactly the same, and another one exactly the same. So 3 Assault Squads and Razorbacks. 1 10-man Assault Squad in a Redeemer with Multi-Melt, a Stormbolter, extra armor, 2 Melt-to-Guns, and a Sergeant with a Power Fist. 2 Ball Predators with Flame Storm Cannons and heavy Flame Responsons, and 2 Vindicators with the Siege Shields. So, really mechanized list. Lots and lots of shots from the Assault Cannons, lots of Flame, the Redeemer and the Ball Predators. AP3 on Marines, so those were something I needed to shut down right away. It was Dawn of War. Victory points. So he reserved his... Actually, it was Dawn of War. Yeah, he could only put out 2 troops in HQ. He put out a Land Raider with a Librarian in it and a squad, because... actually won the roll for this one and made him go first. So that's what he put out, because it was a dedicated transport for troops. So I deployed just my scout squad in some 2+ ruins. And so his first turn, he brought on, he surprisingly didn't bring on everything. He brought on, I think he kept all of his troops in reserve, except for the squad and the Land Raider. He brought on a Demolisher, and I think Mephiston might have come on first round, and that might have been it. And a Drop Pod came in with Furiosa with the Blood Talons right in front of my scouts. I kept the Land Raider about where it was, too, to kind of wait for everything else to catch up, and it was night fighting anyway, so the only thing that could do anything was the Furiosa was there. Nothing could shoot. My first turn, I brought on my entire army. I stacked it all to the right, because his Land Raider was kind of to my left a little bit, and I kind of could corner up and turtle up in the ruins, behind the ruins, to save myself from a lot of death from Vindicators. Once my infantry were out, Drop Pod had landed right near the ruins, too, and moved and ran them into the ruins. And just to try to get as much cover as possible. I shot the crap out of that Blood Talon Dreadnought, and he made every last cover save. So lots of las cannons, completely failed. So I even spotlit it. I did the whole move my Rhino up closest to it, spotlit with the Rhino, even though it can't hurt it with a Stormbolter, and then shot all my Land Raider las cannons, my Dreadnought out and everything, and saved all of them. So that really hurt a lot. So I used my run move to move my scouts down in front of him, so he'd have to kill them, because I care a whole lot less about my scouts than I do my tactical squad that was right next to it. So that was my turn 1. I didn't get a good enough fleet with Lysander and that big blob. Also another non-infiltrating mission, which is really annoying, Games Workshop. So that was my turn 1, didn't do shit. The big blob didn't get a big enough fleet to make the assault to the Dreadnought either, so his turn 2 got, I think, 1 squad of reserves in, the one that had Fearless and Furious Charge, Blood Rage, or whatever it's called. And I can't remember what else he got in, honestly. He might not have gotten anything else. He didn't get much. Oh, he got I think turn 1 he actually brought in the Ball Predators as well. I'm sorry, I brought in both Ball Predators. And every Razorback had one of the Priests in it as well. So, yeah, it was not really fun. So I had to deal with those as well. So his turn 2, moved those forward a whole bunch again. I think he was able to touch 1 or 2 guys, but they killed a scout or 2, and then he charged with the Dreadnought and ripped. He only actually hit hit and wounded with one attack, and then killed like 4 or 5 more guys with it. And then I lost leadership, got overrun, so I took fearless wounds and lost all of those. I actually did lose every last model there, which is kind of funny. And that's pretty much all he did. I don't think he did any serious damage. He blew up a drop pod. I don't think he did much else to my other vehicles. He was mostly just moving forward still. So might have killed a Marine or 2 with the Vindicator. I don't remember. Oh, and he killed 1 Thunderhammer Terminator as well with the Vindicator's shot that scattered. So my turn 2. Lysander and that whole group easily made it into the Dreadnought. I didn't do crap to it. I think I shook it or stunned it or something like that. I rolled incredibly poor, and I believe I wrecked his Vindicator right off the bat. My other squad Terminators from the 1 Land Raider on my right swung around the ruins, jumped out, killed his Ball Predator and his drop pod. I think. Yeah, killed one of his Ball Predators with the Flamestorm cannon, the one in the front. Last cannon from Land Raider on the left side of the ruins shot the other one in side armor and took off the weapon. So I did a pretty good job of shutting down the stuff that really mattered. So at this point he was like almost halfway up the table with, I think he was halfway up the table now with his 1 troop squad that came in. His turn 3, he got all the rest of his reserves in. Dreadnought came down, the melter gun in my back line exploded my Land Raider, or not my Land Raider, my Rhino with my tactical squad. It was really just a bunch of, he strikes me, I strike him back, he strikes me, I strike him back, so I was just really trying to deal with what he was putting in front of me. I did make the decision when I started, though, I'm not going to advance unless I'm advancing to kill something right there. So I really let him come to me, and I just dealt with what was in front of me, because he had a lot to deal with. So really, in the long run, what ended up happening, my big blob of Terminators killed the Dreadnought, moved forward, killed the Ball Predator that had flew forward after that, and the Razorback that had the guys in it. He assaulted me, I killed the guys. I killed the Land Raider, and then he got out. The real main push that did a lot of damage was he got out with the 10 guys from the Land Raider that I wrecked, and 5 guys with the Razorback that was behind me, with a priest in there and a librarian using Unleash Rage, and they all 15 charged me with 2 Power Fists and everything too. My blob of Terminators, it was getting whittled down. I probably had only lost maybe 3 or so at that time, but that means I'm down to like 6 Terminator, Shrike, and Lysander. And Lysander had only taken 1 wound, Shrike had only taken 1 wound. Put his librarian on my on Shrike, tried to instant kill him, failed. And I killed the librarian back. Killed a few guys with Lysander, and then I killed a few guys. I killed actually quite a few, but he just had so many, and the reroll hits did so much damage. I think at the end of that first round of assaults, he had me down to like a Lightning Claw guy, maybe a Thunderhammer or something. Lysander with 2 wounds, and Shrek was still with 1 wound. The next round, I brought forward 5 more Terminators from my other Land Raider that I hadn't disembarked yet. The game, this was like almost last turn. This was last turn actually, and I joined them in the fight to help sweep it up. He did Power Fist, strike down, and killed my last Lightning Claw, so we got the full kill points for that big squad. But and he got half points for Lysander because he's down to 2 wounds. He did another wound to him, and then another. So I actually got full points for Lysander because he was worth double. He's the commander, and so I really did clean up all of that 10-man squad in the Librarian, and I had the other squad down to 2 guys and a priest that were running away, but that was the end of the game there. So Mephiston, only down to 1 wound. He made a bad mistake, though. He forgot to move them last turn, so he couldn't assault my tactical squad because he rolled poor for difficult terrain, which could have made a big difference. Long story short, I know this is already 9 minutes long, so but basically, in the end, he had left those 3 guys I just mentioned running back, the priest and two guys from an assault squad, a Vindicator that was pushing the side of my line and rolling poorly. He had a Razorback and maybe 1 more Razorback. One of them was shaken or something like that. He had a 5-man squad that was hitting one of my Land Raiders, and he had Mephiston with 1 wound left and a Dreadnought that I kept stunning and a drop pod. I got half points for Mephiston. I killed the Librarian, killed, I think, one of the priests, killed the one Furioso in the drop pod. I got half points for the assault squad that was running away, full points for another 5-man squad, full points for the 10-man squad and the Land Raider, and I got full points for the 2-ball Preds and the Vindicator. From my list, he got, he killed Shrike, got half points for Lysander, full points for the big Terminator Blob. He got the Rhino and the drop pod, but both of the tactical squads were still fine. He got full points for the Scout squad, full points for one Terminator squad. I threw 5 Terminators with 4 Storm Shields and Mephiston. He did like 5 wounds and I failed 4 of my Storm Shield, or like 3 of my saves, or 3 or 4. I lost a lot of guys and then they ended up dying and hardly doing crap. I believe my Dreadnought was still okay. Could be wrong, but I think my Dreadnought was still fine. And he got half points for a Land Raider because it had a damage result on it. So I still had a good amount left. In the end, I ended up with 1735 from his army. In the end, 1357 from mine. I beat him by 378, depending on whether or not drop pods count. We weren't sure, but I beat him by at least 378, which was two points more than was required to get a minor victory. So it was stupid close. I really thought I had a huge upper advantage in the game the whole time, but it turned out it was a lot closer than I thought. So really sweet game, Alec. Really good game. And yeah, I ended up being the only one undefeated. I had, I think, something like 54 or 57 battle points. I think the next highest was like maybe 45. So I'm really happy with the way I did. I won the Ard Boyz here. I'm hoping I can go to round 2. Thank you everyone for all your list suggestions, all of that kind of stuff. Thank you for everyone who let me borrow models. And it was a sweet time. I'm so thrilled. I never won a tournament before, like won first place. So that was really exciting. Wish I could have fought Bob Haley, but I'm sure I will in a future tournament. So yeah, I massacred, majored, then minored. Losing steam really quick, but yeah, I think I did pretty good. So thanks a lot, everybody. Again, let me go show you what I got to. Okay, so I won $60 Games Workshop credit basically. I had some more money I was going to buy Terminators with, but they didn't come in time, so I put that towards this too. And I got a Orc Battle Wagon and a Chaos Vindicator. And I also picked up some Army Painter Yellow, so I'm hoping that will help out my army paint faster. Yellow's a pain. I'm thinking though I'm probably going to trade this to one of my roommates who plays Orcs. For a Defiler. They have a Defiler on a Spruce still. That's the aim of getting a Defiler anyway, so they have 3 actually, so I might end up with 3 of them eventually, but so probably Chaos Vindicator and a Defiler. I'm really excited about the Thousand Suns. So, and let me give you just a quick sneak peek. This isn't anywhere near done, but this Thousand Sun I've been working on. Probably the most horrible lighting to do this in. I pretty much just only painted the blue and I started painting the metallics, but you honestly can't even see that, so I'll have to show you guys some other time. But I've been working on the Thousand Suns. I've got 1 squad done with the blue, starting on the metallics. Takes forever, so. But thanks again, guys, for all of your support, for watching the videos. I know this video is super long and it's just me talking and you don't really get a good picture for where everything was and how it happened, but really just in case you were wondering about my games. If not, I hope you just skipped them. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.